What's up, my little enzymes? Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. I'm laughing because you guys are hilarious when it comes to our new family name. I've been getting mixed responses, but the funniest. Somebody was like, "Don't call me an enzyme." I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but yeah. For the most part, I think everyone is okay with it. I have gotten a couple of responses of people being like, I don't like enzyme, but it's growing on me. So we shall see. The topic of today's video is bye bye bestie. I feel like a lot of times on this channel, we do like weddings, marriages, relationships, kids. But today we're gonna dive into stories about friendships. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also a special shout out to Catherine Guest. I don't know if she wants me to shout out. She usually does super thanks, but she bought me 5 coffees. I actually just, where's my coffee cup? I actually just went to go buy coffee a second ago so that I could power through recording these videos. So thank you guys so much. And, actually, I love doing these little, I don't know what you call them, video emojis, I don't know. But let's get into the video. Am I the a-hole for not selling my festival ticket, although my friends already had? This will be a long one, so I apologize in advance. First off, it's exactly as the title says. Every year, me and my friends, I'll call them A, B, C to avoid confusion, take turns choosing a concert or festival to attend. We always take each other's preferences into account, and we're lucky that we all like the same kind of music. This started a few months ago when we all received a fair bit of money for our birthdays, and we decided it was time for another festival. We're May, June, and July babies. This year, 2024, it's my choice, and I chose the Nu Metal Sick New World Festival in Las Vegas. There isn't one band on there that we don't love. We're especially fans of Slipknot, Rammstein, Rob Zombie, and Ice Nine Kills. That's a totally different genre than I'm used to. I know it could be taken that maybe they couldn't afford it, but we all worked very high up in PR and travel insurance and have been on quite pricey holidays and festivals before. We all bought our tickets and booked our flights and accommodations. All of that was done. We did it early as the event is in April. We decided the money we got for Christmas we'd use as extra spending money until a couple of days ago, everything was fine and we'd been talking about the event. Suddenly, there was a message on the group chat from A and B saying they'd changed their minds about the event and now want us to go to a Taylor Swift concert. I think it's the Eras Tour that's coming to the UK, but I'm not sure. Me and C aren't fans of Taylor Swift at all. That's no hate to anybody who's a hardcore Swiftie, but me and C are diehard metal fans and it's not our thing. We mentioned this on the group chat and immediately A and B called us both selfish for not taking their preferences into account, bearing in mind we all like the same metal bands. I politely said that it was my year to choose and I had chosen that because all our favorite bands would be there. Also they already made the decision and already booked their flights and accommodations, and so these people are trying to change it. I think that if you're going on a group trip to a festival, everyone should have at least someone who they are wanting to see at the festival. Otherwise, that's like a waste. I wouldn't want to go to a festival or a concert of an artist who I don't like. Also, sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background. Both A and B said they'd already sold their tickets, canceled their flights, and sent a message to the Airbnb we booked that we would no longer be attending. That's bold. Wow. Now it's their money and they can do whatever they want with it. But I was quite angry that they'd canceled out the accommodation before this message even hit the group chat. I voiced this concern in the group chat and reinforced that it was my turn to choose. The Taylor Swift tour is in June. They've already attended 3 of her events for the tour this year, one of which me and C went along with. Am I wrong for maybe assuming they'd be able to go along with my decision for this year's concert? Anyway, I was quite upset over the accommodation thing, which I feel is understandable. I hate to be the person who's like, no, it's me who's making the decision. But I can't help but feel that way. Me and C spoke outside of the group chat, and it's quite good timing because my family are going to the US for Easter. We have family in Texas, so they will be there, and they'll travel over to Las Vegas to stay in the Airbnb they'd already booked. It's not that far from our original location, and they will also be attending the Sick New World Festival with us, as my dad is also a huge fan. We spoke with my family and we decided to chip into the cost of their Airbnb and keep our tickets. A and B were very mad over that decision and said that we were selfish and trying to break up the group. What? We've all been friends since we were in school and met when we were around 4. I'm sure in time they'll come to be okay with our decision, but are we the a-holes for refusing to cancel our tickets? No, not at all. They're the ones that are trying to change up this whole plan from what you guys all originally did, and they went ahead and called the Airbnb to cancel without even confirming to you guys whether that was okay. So they're making decisions on behalf of the group that the whole group isn't even privy to. So no, definitely not the a-hole. And luckily enough, you already have kind of like a backup and you're able to still go to the concert anyway, and you'll be able to be with your family too. C is also going along. So if anything, like if I were them, I would have just gone to the Taylor Swift concert like separately from the group trip, because I just don't think it's fair for someone to be going on a group trip for a concert when there's an artist that they just don't like. That doesn't make sense to me. And plus, they've already attended 3 of her events for the tour in 1 year. So why do they... Child, they'll be all right. So for the comments, someone said, just split up this year. Your Swiftie friends are the ones who broke the agreement, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Your friend group may be permanently broken up, and you may never, ever, ever be getting back together again. That's a good one. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I do know that song. Someone else said, not the a-hole. They decided to sell their tickets, cancel their flights, and cancel the group's accommodation, and that's okay. But you keeping your ticket is selfish? The fact that they sold and canceled everything before mentioning it shows they knew they were being a-holes by pulling out, and they basically went down the route of asking for forgiveness is easier than asking permission. The fact that they're even giving you a hard time for not wanting to go to a concert you don't like and just keeping your tickets makes it worse. They are very bad friends. Yeah, they tried to manipulate OP and the other friend into going along with their plan when there was clearly already a laid out plan for the whole group. Let me go to the update. Update, am I the a-hole for not selling my festival ticket even though my friends already had? Hi all, I'm back with an update. This one might be even longer than the original post, so I apologize. Me and C went to the festival and it was absolutely incredible. I don't want to say once in a lifetime opportunity because of course we're going again, but it was a really incredible time. It was really lovely to spend time with C and my family too. I'm telling you, I couldn't speak for a while afterwards with the amount of shouting I did. Okay, great. So OP had a good time. Me and C also attended Ice Nine Kills' meet and greet tour, which was an amazing opportunity. Black Veil Brides performed at Sick New World, which, I'll be honest, I nearly lost my freaking mind. We also had tickets to see their Bleeders tour and attended that at the start of June when we traveled back to Houston with my family. So they're living their best life. They make me want to go to a concert now. I love it. I love to see people like going out doing stuff, like planning events and trips with their friends and stuff. I want to go to a concert. This leads me into the proper update about A and B. They attended the Eras tour in June. The 7th was when it came to Edinburgh and is in the UK until August 20th. They also have tickets for next month too. Dang, they must really like Taylor Swift. Oh, I feel guilty for being slightly disappointed that they picked my birthday, June 7th, to attend. Now, I don't know if I have the right to be upset, as that was the date of the first show. I wouldn't have minded if they hadn't told me they were attending on the 8th and 9th. I know some people will say, maybe they got the dates mixed up. But no, they bought their tickets well in advance and knew it would be my birthday. It was my 21st birthday, and we'd made plans even earlier than booking the festival tickets. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know about that. At first, I was gonna be like, well, it's the first show. Like, you gotta go to the first show. Yeah, it's your birthday, but like maybe you could celebrate it on another day. But the 21st birthday, I don't know. I just feel like the 21st birthday is one of those like milestone birthdays that if it was my friend's birthday who I've known since they were 4, I could easily go to a concert the next day so that I could make sure I spend time with my friend on their birthday. So these girls are not really seeming like good friends here. Is Taylor Swift really that important that you miss your friend's 21st birthday? And the fact that they had already made plans even before the first festival that they dropped out of. I'd planned a party, nothing huge because I'd spent a lot of money on tickets and paid for the entertainment and catering myself. So everything was on track for the goth party of the century, and lo and behold, a message in the group chat the literal day before. I'm gonna do a sort of reconstruction of the conversation just so you can see how this panned out. So remember, their names are A, B, and C, and then OP. So we're gonna go through what the reenactment of the conversation was. So B, hey, so about your birthday party, me and A can't come. OP, wait, what do you mean you can't come? A, the 7th is the first show in Edinburgh and we got tickets, so we're going to the concert that day. C, the 7th? You said the 8th through the 9th. She planned her party around you guys for that exact reason. OP, literally, I wanted the party on Saturday so I could have my birthday for my family, but both of you said the dates were after my birthday. If those dates aren't the dates, why didn't you tell me something else? A, because if we told you that's when the concert was, you'd act like you are now, jealous and overreacting. C, jealous? She isn't jealous. She's frustrated because 2 of her best friends not only canceled everything for a festival she'd planned, but they've lied to her face this entire time. A, oh my freaking gosh, are you still going on about that festival? You still went, didn't you? It's really not a big deal. You are seriously overreacting. And how have we lied? And scene. You get the gist. This is just a brief of what I remember because I haven't even been on the group chat since. They also went on to try and argue their points, saying that we know how obsessed with Taylor they are. And as I said in my first post, no hate to Swifties, but me and C are metal through and through, and it's not our thing. I tried my best to be accommodating, and all I got in return was plans made without me and lying to my face. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Often, A and B would pair off together and do their own thing, but we all attended the same college and did the same courses, and like I said, we all work together in the same company, so we've got even closer and we thought we'd outgrown all of this. Wow, that's unfortunate. Like, it's very rare to know someone for like that length of time. Not many people on earth can say that they have childhood friends who have consistently been their friends. Not just like, oh, I knew them in childhood, maybe we had a break sometime in the middle and then we got back closer when we were adults, but like consistently from 4 years old to now, you went to school together, you took the same classes, work at the same place. Not many people have people who they can say that they have that with. So it's unfortunate that it seems that this friendship is pretty much done. Because the way they're moving and acting over Taylor Swift, come on now, it's really not that serious. So she says, I moved my party back to the original day, which was the Saturday, and spent the 7th with my partner and family. The party was wonderful. It was a fancy dress, which sounds really tacky, but I love Tim Burton, and horror movies, and so do my friends. So everyone dressed up was amazing. I love Halloween, so having a party like that this time was everything. Now for the Eras Tour. I actually feel bad for A and B because they were scammed. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. Ha! You are never, ever, ever going to the concert. Ah, man, karma is a crazy thing. If you've not been able to get hold of concert tickets, you know that some people sell theirs. The online tickets are harder to scam people with, but these ones were posted as in paper tickets. I think they paid at least £3,000 for their tickets, and they received them in the post. They already booked their train tickets and accommodation well in advance, but when they arrived to the concert, they were told that their tickets were fake. I know a few people are going to find this hard to believe, but seriously, I could not make this up if I tried. Apparently, there was a big thing involving security and everything. They tried to contact the person they got the tickets from, but of course, they couldn't find that person anymore. I feel bad because they really wanted to go and they spent a lot of money. We didn't find out about this until they got home and we all went back to work this week. I said that I was sorry that it didn't work out, but since then, they've been quite cold to me and C. Why? OP and C literally have been blameless in this whole situation. Y'all mad because y'all went, mistreated your friends, changed plans, missed out on your friend's 21st birthday to go to a concert that you couldn't even get into because you got scammed. Be mad at yourself, not OP. Which, quite frankly, I don't understand because I have more reason to be cold than them. But anyway, I think maybe it's more out of embarrassment. We haven't really spoken much since because I do still feel very hurt by how it all panned out. I don't really want to be friends with people that could do that so easily and then lie to my face. So it's looking likely that we are going to sort of take a break from the friendship, if that makes sense. We're not completely our separate ways, but I think we just need time away from each other. Thank you for listening to me rave about my problems, and I'm sorry that it's very long or it's not the update you wanted, but it's just how things worked out. Somebody said still fake. Do they not think the story is real? Someone else said, so their reasoning was, I bet if we tell OP that we're choosing to go to the festival over their birthday, then they'll be offended. I know. I bet they'll be totally fine with it if we pretend we'll go and only reveal the truth at the last moment after they've planned everything. Clown face. I wonder if they were cold to you because they thought you were being sarcastic when you told them about how sorry you were, which I would understand because I'd be using this story to teach people the meaning of Schadenfreude. You're a much more forgiving person than I am. New word alert. What does that mean?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Pleasure derived by someone from another person's misfortune. Wow. Interesting. Someone else said, they're just a couple of losers who thought their friend would be a doormat and are embarrassed and confused that it's not happening the way they planned. Stick to your guns and don't keep people who disrespect and mock you around. Trust me, they will pull this stuff again. I do agree. They're not seeming like people who I would keep around. Well, I think that concludes the first one. So let's go to the next story. So this one does have a trigger warning for Islamophobia, but there is going to be a happy ending. So, am I the a-hole for asking my friend to take down her bachelorette party photos? To start this off, I am a Muslim woman who wears the hijab. I cover my hair and most of my body. I do not judge those who don't do the same, nor do I try to impose my beliefs onto others. Everyone will have their own personal journeys, and just as I know I'm not perfect, I can't judge others for it either. I, 23 female, recently went to a friend's bachelorette party, women only, no drinks, just girls being girls, and celebrating a friend's soon-to-be marriage. Maya, 24 female, has been a friend of mine since kindergarten, and I'm more than happy to be a part of such a big part of her life. She isn't religious, but she accepts my views and is even going to let me wear a more modest style abaya as her maid of honor. This is to say, Maya understands the hijab and what it means to me, or so I thought. And I don't know if this needs to be said, but I guess for people who don't know much about like people who wear hijabs, they're supposed to keep their hair and I think ears covered, and like the rest of their body, obviously. I think even like down to their ankles, or they can't show their ankles. I can't remember the specific I don't want to say rules, because it's not like technically rules, it's just kind of like what they follow, but for lack of better word, rules. And they can't be seen uncovered around like men who could potentially be a husband. That's basically like the overarching rule as far as like uncovering around men. Women, they can be uncovered around pretty much any woman from what I know. And then obviously like if you're taking a picture on social media, you can't control who sees that, so they have to be covered like for that as well. That's the Dacious Digest synopsis version. Obviously there's like more that goes into it, but just like as a quick context, just in case you weren't familiar with the hijab. And the hijab is just the one about that goes around the face. There's like also, I think it's called the niqab. That's like just the eyes. That's like even more modest, but the hijab is just anyways. Okay, so she says, at the party, I took it off as it was just women. We were going to sleep over anyways, so I don't think anyone was expecting me to sleep in the thing. I always find it funny how they react when they get to see my hair, like I'm secretly Rapunzel or something. We watched a movie, took photos and videos, and generally had a good time. I had no problems with the photos being taken, since my friends are usually respectful and don't post them anywhere. It just stays in our group chat. We went to sleep, and the next day, everything was normal. We cleaned up and I drove home and finally checked my phone. I opened Instagram to the tagged icon and checked it to see myself and the girls on Maya's public account. I quickly messaged Maya asking her to take it down before anyone else saw, as I couldn't control whether or not some guy was going to see her post, and she refused, saying that there were no other good photos of her. I asked her to simply crop me out or even draw over my hair and neck, but she said that it would look wrong and that I'm overreacting. That's not a good friend. That is not a good friend. I insisted I wasn't, and that she knew that I couldn't show my hair to just anyone. Instead of responding to me, she took it to the group chat as some sort of counsel. Half of them agreed that she shouldn't have posted a photo of me without my hijab, and a couple others told me I was overreacting and no one cared besides me. That's terrible. No matter what it is, if your friend has something that means something to them and you go against that and you know that it means something to them, I think you should try to be accommodating as long as there's no detriment to yourself. So like, it literally is nothing for you to delete the photo or just crop her out like she said, or draw over her hair like she said. It literally takes nothing for you to do that. You literally have another option, plenty of other options, but you choose to do the one that would cause detriment to your friend. Does that make sense? No. I should note that one of the most vocal of them who disagreed generally doesn't like me, so she would have disagreed regardless of what I said. Most of us are urging her to take down the post, and now she's claiming we're putting her under a lot of stress with the wedding only a week away, but I don't see what that has to do with this. Am I really being unreasonable for wanting to be respected? Am I the a-hole? No. Edit, there were about 40 photos and I was only in 6 of them. People are under the impression that I was in every photo taken. I wasn't. Yet, I was in almost half of which were posted. All of the ones posted were candids. Child, I don't know. I know there's a happy ending on this, but I don't know if I could respect someone and continue to be friends with someone who like could violate my wants in that manner. I just don't know. That's like if you accidentally take a picture at an unflattering angle, or you're on the beach or something and you take a picture in your bikini, but you normally don't have pictures like in just a two-piece bikini on social media, and you don't want to put yourself out there like that. It's literally the same thing. Me and my friends, before we even post pictures, group pictures, we confirm with everyone in the photo, like, hey, is it okay to post this? Or like, we already know, like, maybe, there's like an unflattering angle, or maybe, something that we know our friends wouldn't want posted on social media. We confirm it with them before we post it. I would never post a photo that my friend wasn't comfortable with and be like, you're overreacting. That's rude as hell. Like, hijab or not. Take that part out of the equation. That's rude as hell. Someone said, not the a-hole, she's not your friend. If a friend of mine asked me to remove a photo with them in it for whatever reason, they'd be removed from the photo before the day ended. My friends can trust me 100% that I won't put them in a position that makes them uncomfortable. Exactly. It's literally that easy. But at this point, you have no control. You can ask her to remove the photo, but you can't control it. Learn from this and don't trust her again. You can't let your guard down around everyone. Someone responded, my husband is very private and doesn't want his photos online anywhere. Friends posted photos on Facebook that they took at our wedding and quickly took them down when asked. There's nothing unreasonable about asking your friends to remove photos of you from social media. Someone else said, my husband is very particular about what photos of him go online, to the point that I always ask him before I post a photo, even a benign one. If he says no, I don't post it, no matter how cute it is or if I look good in the photo or whatever. Simple as that. I cannot imagine what would ever possess me, short of a brain tumor, to post photos of a woman without her hijab online in the first place, much less stubbornly refuse to take them down once asked. I'd be incredibly embarrassed to have made a mistake like that and would be tripping over myself to fix it and apologize. Right, let's see, there is an update here. Update, am I the a-hole for asking my friend to take down her bachelorette party photos? I wanted to give a couple days before I updated to let the situation cool down or hopefully resolve itself. In short, the post got taken down, the wedding is still happening, and I'm still friends with her. I don't know if I could be. I got a bunch of DMs from her fiance the other day apologizing, saying that he'd recognize me in the photos of me without my hijab, and he'd informed me that he told her to take them down. He's Christian, but from what I understand, his mother veils and he understands the rules around hijab a good bit. He felt bad, and I had to reassure him that it wasn't his fault and thanked him for talking to my friend for me. He asked if this whole situation would affect our friendship, and I told him I wasn't sure in what way. A bit after, my friend finally messaged me one-to-one for the first time after the whole fiasco. I feel like in this situation, she should have called. This is a calling moment. She apologized and explained she didn't think it was a big deal since her other Muslim friend doesn't wear the hijab, and she thought I was simply being dramatic. I told her that everyone is different, and what someone else chooses to do with their body and faith doesn't mean someone else will do the same. My older sister doesn't wear the hijab. She's seen her. It's a personal choice, and no two people are going to have the same relationship with it. I asked her why me asking her to take it down wasn't enough on its own, since she'd done similar things for others in the past. For example, a bra strap showing, unflattering angle, exposed scars, without hesitation. Exactly, like it's literally the same concept. She said she wasn't thinking straight and felt it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It was only when her fiance brought it up to her that she took it down. She put the other 4 photos up, the ones without me in them, and she realized that she was being stubborn for no reason. She asked me if there was anything she could do to make up for it, and I asked her to just keep it in the past. I'd like to clear up the notion that this is the first bachelorette party or even wedding our friend group has had, since that's far from it. Added, we've had conversations regarding special occasions many times, so even if it was the first time, this shouldn't have happened. This wedding will be the 3rd, and come September, mine will be the 4th. Also, we've been friends for almost 2 decades, so cutting her off over this would be so out of proportion. I did not report the photos, and I did not abandon my faith like some of you suggested. This may not be the update some were wanting, but at least things are better now and the wedding is soon and going as planned. I guess. I mean, I know they have like that friendship history, so I guess that does kind of change it a little bit as far as like forgiveness, I guess. But my thing is, if y'all have indeed been friends that long, why does a friend not know that this is something important? Like, whatever. I mean, OP, if you feel okay about your decision, that's all that matters. So let's go to the next one. This one is kind of interesting because I feel like this is a conversation that happens on social media a lot about paying, like how the bill should be split when friends go out to restaurants. So here it is. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay and leaving my friends in a restaurant as the rich friend? I, 20 female, have an amazing group of friends, 7 people from university. We met in our 2nd year and have been super close ever since. For context, we go to a relatively expensive college with no scholarship, so it's safe to assume all of us are somewhat well off. When we were first getting to know each other, we often went out to brunch and drinks and split the bill most of the time. However, I've been brought up to never let others pay and would offer to cover the bill whenever I could. No one else offered to cover, but I believe it's just not common where they're from. A few months ago, we were talking about our parents' occupations, and I told them about my family. A quick Google search of my name brings up my father's page. However, they had never connected the dots regarding our relation. My father is well known in the real estate industry and makes quite a bit of money. Since then, I've been labeled as the rich friend in our group. Whenever we go shopping, I'm expected to buy expensive items for myself and Uber everywhere instead of using public transport. When I do shop cheaper, it becomes a spectacle. I always feel guilty whenever I pull out only my portion in cash, since I can tell it makes everyone else uncomfortable to then dig through their bags for their share. Therefore, I often just end up covering anyways. A few weeks ago, it was one of my friend's 21st birthday, and I told him I would pay for any activity as a birthday gift. She is generous. We went out and had a nice dinner as a group. I didn't mind since I offered. What bothered me was when I turned 20 recently, I was hoping my friends would take care of me for one day. I usually never have this expectation, but was really let down since I always seem to be the one treating everyone else, even on my special day. My last straw was when we went on vacation recently to my home country. They, as usual, made plans for a pub crawl night. I initially didn't intend on going since I had scheduled dinner with my parents later that night. I eventually caved and ended up going for only a few hours. During that time, I had maybe one drink but hadn't eaten all night. I decided to call it a night after 2 hours to go have dinner with my family. Before I was leaving, however, one of my friends asked if I could quickly cover the tab before I left. Ha! I know you lying. I would have usually agreed, but this circumstance felt different because I hadn't eaten and barely drank. I also didn't want to come in the first place. This time, it seemed like they were trying to use me to pay, even if it was unintentional. I simply said I would, but left without paying. I got a text later from one of them saying, I thought you said you'd paid. How was dinner? We brushed over that instance quite easily, but their behavior from that night still bothers me. It seems like I have become the rich friend character that always pays for their friends. How do I fix this without seeming like an a-hole? Wow. Okay, well, first of all, it seems like you might need new friends. You said y'all are, in college. This is about the time where you pretty much make the friends who will be like your friends through life. A lot of the people who I befriended in college are like still my friends today. And so you might want to start looking for some new friends, sis. Or, because she asked, how does she fix this? I say setting boundaries. Like, oh, are you going to pick up the tab? No, why would I pick up the tab? It's as simple as that. Stop paying for them. Stop, being overly generous. Stop picking up the tab, because it seems like they've gotten used to you being the sugar friend and like spoiling them for you to buy your friend and it's sad because it seems that you are like a generous person who likes to do things for her friends, but your friends are the type of people who like to take advantage of that, which is unfortunate, and that's definitely not a good pairing. So I would stop being so generous. Like, it's good to get your friend a gift, but like having him have the choice of whatever he wants on his birthday and, oh, I'll cover it, and just marketing yourself as like that person that's, oh yeah, no, I'll get it. Oh yeah, oh, it's fine. Like, no, I would stop that. Not saying that it's your fault, but like I said, they're obviously taking advantage of that trait that you have. She has an edit on this, so I'll read the comments first and then her edit. Someone said, sis, if you want to continue having wealth of any sort, you need to put your foot down and stop letting your friends take advantage of you. They are absolutely taking advantage of you. Call your dad and have a conversation with him about whether you can use him as an excuse to back this truck up while you figure out how to erect your boundaries. For example, yeah, my dad's not covering my credit cards anymore, and he's put me on a strict budget. He worked hard and saved to get where he is business-wise and doesn't want his kids to be lazy and entitled, so here we are. When your friends pressure you, look at them and tell them, if they want Uber instead of public transit, then one of them will need to cover it this time because you are not the group piggy bank. Oh, she was paying for the group's Uber? What? I thought she was just paying for like her own Uber because they assume she's so, I guess, rich that she doesn't take public transport. Wait a minute. Whenever we go shopping, I'm by myself in Uber. I don't know. Maybe this person misunderstood that part, or maybe I misunderstood that part. Anyways, same with purchasing them expensive things. Next time you're pressured, tell them they are welcome to purchase it, but buying expensive things for everyone is no longer in the budget. Brunch? Set the tone when you first arrive at the restaurant by telling the server you guys need separate checks. Your gut is correct. They are using you. It's easy to spend other people's money, so you need to set a new tone. You are not rich. Your parents are rich, and your parents are not interested in supporting your friends' lifestyles. Someone said, that is not good advice. Why would you go into these links and make up stories and lies instead of having a mature conversation with your friends? OP should sit them down and discuss with them how she's been feeling for some time and bring up the scenarios that particularly bothered her. If the friendships are real and not superficial, there shouldn't be any problem. Definitely lying to your friends is not it. OP, definitely not the a-hole. The fact that you're generous and can afford to be doesn't mean you should be automatically expected to pay. And I personally would bring up the birthday scenario in the conversation with them. It's not stupid to expect your friends to reciprocate, and especially when it's your birthday to be celebrated. In the pub scenario, I would personally let them know that I had only 2 drinks and I'm happy to cover them, but I'm not going to take the tab. You're not a walking wallet. For real. And then the audacity for her friend to text her afterwards and be like, I thought you said you were picking up the tab. Okay, brokey. This next person said, the one advantage I can see to the little white lie, dad's cracked down on me example, is that it gives the friends the opportunity to show if they are truly friends or just leeches. Friends would commiserate and start either cutting back on the high life and or offering to pick up the tab. Leeches, on the other hand, would disappear like a snowball in hell. Is honesty better? Sure. However, if a face-saving fib makes it easier for everyone, the truth will eventually surface in a way and at a time where no one feels called out. Yeah, I personally like the blame it on the dad excuse, just because like these people are still on the younger side and on the like less mature side, and like it's still a way for her to set a boundary without making it like this whole dramatic thing and potentially causing a fallout. And then, I mean, she still is in college and social relationships are important and stuff. So I see what that person is saying by like, you shouldn't lie, like you shouldn't make up stories, your friend should. And while that is true, I think you have to take the situation and the demographic into hand. Like if these people were older, in their late 20s or older, then I would do like the more mature conversation. But I feel like with this younger crowd, you kind of have to let them down easy in a way. I don't know. But then, I mean, to his point, if they really were her true friends, then like they should be fine with her saying that. Either way, at the end of the day, she needs to set some sort of boundaries. However she gets to doing that, she needs to set some boundaries. Let me look at her edit. Edit, thank you so much for the advice. As of now, the best option seems to be to blame it on a third party, even if that may not be so kind to my dad. I might bring up that I have an allowance so I can start cutting back on expenses. To clarify a few details, I have been brought up to pay for others when they also do the same. It is always a nice gesture that has gone both ways. The reason I'm starting to resent it is because it now seems one-sided. More than money, what bothers me is the realization that my group of friends may never treat me, and I am always the one to splurge on them. It seems inherently one-sided. When I mentioned purchasing expensive items, I meant for myself. It has become almost a brand or identity that I have no intention of continuing. Whenever I don't spend much money, they pass comments like, oh, Miss Private Jet is using public transport. Or when I repeat outfits, don't you have enough money to have a new outfit every day? I hate that. There were never remarks like this earlier. I'm sure they mean it as a joke, but these comments just get to me sometimes, since even normal activities I do are put under the spotlight now. It also adds to this archetype I am trying to separate myself from. My behavior has never changed upon being given the label. I get that it can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I have made sure to stay the same. Rather, it seems that my actions are now fitted to the title and attributed to it. The conversation regarding our backgrounds was bound to come up as we were getting to know each other. It was inevitable, and I couldn't hide it. Being secretive would imply it is a big deal when it's not. I gave brief details, however, they ran with it. Lastly, I also realized I may have written this post quite strongly. I am unsure as to whether their behavior is intentional or they seriously have no idea. I guess the only way to find out is to inform them eventually. Okay, so these are new friends. Oh, you'll be fine, girl. Let them know like it ain't what you think it is. These are new friends. You still have time to make more friends. She says she just turned 20, so she's probably like 2 years into college. She still got 2 years left. She has plenty of time to make other friends, join some clubs, take a new class, start branching out, trying to meet other people. And I think this is a good lesson in not divulging too much information too soon. Let people wonder. If they're asking you who your family is or who whatever this and that, just give them some sort of vague, like you don't have to tell the truth. You could just say you don't want to talk about it. Or just like, I don't know, come up with something else. But I just feel like when you give too much information too soon, the the people who aren't genuine will take advantage of it, as it seems that these friends have done. So like maybe if you build a connection with someone first and then like later on down the line you can have that trust built to where then you can tell them like who you really are. I don't know, but I just wouldn't, from now on, I just wouldn't tell people too much information too soon. Not being secretive, but just like not being so open. That will be the last read of this video, so make sure you double check that you are subscribed. And we will read the palette cleanser. Obnoxious young musician. I managed a music store for a lot of years. We had a large guitar selection. As a result, we had a large customer base who would come in and try out the guitars. Most were really terrible musicians. The worse the player, the louder the music. It was unbearable sometimes. On one particular day, we had a really awful musician banging away trying out amplifiers. The sound was horrendous. The kid thought he was great and was showing off. After a while, I couldn't take it anymore, and he was playing for a long period of time. I thought of a solution. I went back and shut the breaker off for the amplifier section. The kid's reaction was priceless. He thought he had blown out and broken the amplifier. He got up and practically ran out of the store. It wasn't serious revenge, but it was so satisfying. I still chuckle about it today. The comments. Sorry, no Stairway to Heaven allowed. Someone said, but that wasn't Stairway to Heaven. Yes, it was. If you keep playing, I'll kill you and you'll need the Stairway to Heaven. Somebody said, no stairway, denied. Man. Somebody replied, Highway to Hell would be more amped. Oh, great comments. Great petty revenge. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.